When they took my oldest daughter out of the hospital, it was before they had went the day before she was born and got an order to take her out of the hospital. And the reason why they took her out of the hospital was because my husband was present for the birth. And after that...
Why would that cause them to...
Because that's when we were going through our domestic situation and
Okay.
everything, domestic violence and all that stuff. And they didn't want him around me or around the kids. However, the court order was dropped for him to not be around me and all that. And, you know, at the time, we were separated. But I was living in Virginia. He was living in West Virginia still. He had just come out to see the birth of his daughter. And they used that to take out my young oldest daughter out of the hospital. They knew I was breastfeeding her. They refused to let me breastfeed her. They refused to let me breastfeed my youngest daughter. They knew I was breastfeeding her. I tried to pump my milk. That don't last very long when you can't have a nurse. During visitations, they refused to let me nurse my daughters. They told me that I could not give her my milk because of the color it was. However, I went to my doctor, my obstetrician, and told her. She said that it was okay for it to be the color it was because it had a bluish tint to it. She said that was normal. And they refused to let me give her my milk. So I couldn't give her the natural antibodies that she deserved.
Really, that's an abuse of the child.
And they wouldn't let me give them. They wouldn't let me do that. And I wanted to breastfeed my kids like I breastfed my two oldest boys.
So the system that's supposed to protect the child has abused the child by denying you the child the right to receive the antibodies and everything else it needs in the mother's milk.
Yep.
That child could have allergy problems throughout its life.
And not just that. When they took my boys out of our care, they immediately took them to the doctor and placed them on ADHD medicine at 2 and 3 years old. On the research I've done on that, you can't diagnose that problem until 5 years of age.
That's Ritalin?
No, they put them on clonidine, and they put them on another one. I can't remember the name of that offhand. They refused to listen to I had checked out a book from the library when they told me my kids had this, or supposedly had it. They refused to put them on a diet that could help out and take away the medicine, because they said they wanted them to they said my oldest son, mild retardation. He could speak fine. He could talk fine. I had him to a doctor because he could not walk at 18 months of age, because he refused to, because I thought something was wrong with him. They said that he had a learning disability called, it was called apraxia, where he takes everything in and eventually it'll come out. It came out when he was ready. They forced him to be ready for something that he wasn't ready for. They said that I was a bad parent because I didn't put my child at 3 years of age in preschool instead of waiting until 4, when that's the normal age for a child to go to preschool. Because I was taking care of him at home. I was a stay-at-home mom with my boys. And I was doing a good job with them. They said I was a bad parent. And it hurts, because I know that I wasn't a bad mama.
But there were no criminal charges.
No.
Okay.
that's actually abuse for them not letting my child nurse from me or receive my milk.
Don't you think it is?
I would
think it was, but I didn't know for sure if it was or not.
I guess it all depends how you
They're
word it.
interrupting the process of nature. The child needs the mother. Everybody knows mother's milk is best for
Yeah.
the baby, right?
Yeah.
And they prevented you from doing that.
Yeah.
I certainly would call that child abuse. Yeah.
I mean, I know the child abuse was them placing my kids on medicine and didn't need to be. Because
Gave
That's
them-
child
they-
abuse as well.
Well, they had a doctor.
Gave them medicine without even our consent first, which is in West Virginia state codes, that they have to have our.
Speak up.
Okay.
July 28, 2008 is coming up, and they're having a permanency placement hearing. And that's to place our oldest daughter and to determine whether or not our kids are going to stay where they're at or what's going to happen. If there's anything you all can do prior to that date, write our judge, Judge Donald Cookman, at the Hardy County Courthouse.
Morphville, West Virginia.
His address is 204 Washington Street, Moorfield, West Virginia. If there's anything you all can do to help, please do. Thank you.